All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Bootcamp Blueprint, the place where personal trainers go to grow their bootcamp and social media. I'm super excited because this week we've got someone who I've been following for a long time. This person is an absolute expert at growing your social media and an absolute expert at putting bums on seats. So if you're a trainer and you're thinking, hey, I want to grow my social media or I want to grow my bootcamp, this is the person you want to speak to. So without further ado, the godfather of the mafia, the meetup queen, the one and only Francesca Moy. Francesca, how are you?
Hi, wow, that's an amazing introduction. Thank you.
No,
I'm great. Jono, how are you?
I'm pretty good. Thanks for your time there, Francesca. We're all super excited. What I like to start all my podcasts with is a quote or mantra that fires you up. Have you got one for us?
Yes, I love Tony Robbins' one that says, change expectation for appreciation.
Love it.
It's my favorite quote.
And that was by Tony Robbins?
Yes.
Awesome. Love it. All right. Well, hey, Francesca, if someone's listening to this and they haven't heard of you before, I was hoping you could give them a sentence or two, maybe like an elevator pitch. You know, everyone's got an elevator pitch. That's sort of the buzzword these days. Do you have an elevator pitch you could share?
Well, what I do, I say that I have a story pitch to share. So it's a very brief 60-second story. Should I go with that one?
I would love to hear it.
Awesome. So 4 years ago, I wanted to become Tony Robbins of Australia, Antonia Robbins of Australia. And I was trying to get out there networking event and nobody wanted to become a client until I found the secret. I started a meetup group and I got to have fully booked, life coaching business in literally 3 months. It was insane. And then everyone started to ask me, how did you put bums on seat in your meetup? How do you have 50 people at each meetup? How did you do it? I'm like, oh no, I'll use Meetup on Facebook. And so then I started to teach how to put bums on seat and how to use social media and Meetup to grow your business.
Love it. I love that little elevator story there, Francesca. And what I also want to share with our listeners as well, I actually just got back from one of Francesca's half-day events, and this was one of my biggest takeaways from that, where a lot of the experts these days sort of teach the elevator pitch. They say, hey, you want to get in a situation where you can tell someone in one sentence what you do. And look, that's okay. It's got its advantages. But I love the way Francesca puts the spin on things where it's actually a story. And that was what, a minute? How long does that take you to take? Have you timed it? What is it, a minute, 2 minutes?
Usually it's around 40, 45 seconds.
40, 45 seconds. So it's not long enough to bore people, but how much more interesting is that? Like, I can't wait to hear more about that story just by that first 45 seconds there. So that's what I was actually hoping for next, Francesca. Can you give us, now let's delve a little bit deeper into it. If you could tell us, now you're the meetup queen, now you're the expert at social media, you're the expert at putting bums on seats. If you could run us through a bit of a story of how that happened.
Well, that's how it happened, is that people start to ask me. So one of the things that I always say to my clients, listen to what people tell you. The most important thing for our business is not to have a website ready or everything perfect, It's about having people, because people are the ones that are going to ask us the question. They're going to tell us what they want from us. And that's what I did. Starting a meetup, it wasn't just about confidence and about learning how to speak in public. It was about, understanding what was my, the thing that people wanted to learn from me. And that was one of the biggest benefits that I got from Meetup, because as I put myself out there in a pedestal, as an organizer, people look you up and thinking that you are this amazing person. And I'm like, oh, I'm just me. What do you mean? Like, I don't know. And that's what really got me started, when I saw that people saw value in what I had to say. And I really found that surprising. And I thought, oh, maybe I will be so successful in this business. And that's how everything started. And Meetup became my way to give, because you don't really make money at the Meetup event. But what happened is that people will start to see you on social media as a person of influence. And as we know, when you become a person of influence, everyone wants a piece of you.
True. Love it. Hey, if we could expand a little bit on Meetup, Francesca, because Meetup, I know what it is. A lot of my listeners may or they may not know, because in your opinion, it's probably not as popular as a Facebook or an Instagram in terms of the general public. I know the power of
Yeah.
Meetup. I've been to Meetups. But maybe if someone's listening to this and they're like, what is this woman talking about? What is Meetup? Is it a dating app? Is it, if you could run us
I
through.
know people. People always think it's a dating app. I'm like, no, I'm not the dating queen, that's for sure. So Meetup is a platform. It's like a website. Like, there's an app for your mobile and there's a website on your computer. And it's a platform that you go in, and there is a lot of people that were missing out on something. They were interested about some subject, for example, tennis. And all their friends didn't like tennis. And so they said, you know what, I'm going to start my own Meetup group, which is this group on this platform where I'm going to invite people to a face-to-face, appointment where we're going to play tennis. And so he will put the event on his own Meetup, which is this group, and everyone will attend physically, like face-to-face to this event. So I say Meetup is local, Facebook is global. So Meetup is about creating something that people in your community, in your network, in your surrounding, in your suburb will come along and join you face to face. And then slowly it became not just a social platform, but now it's being used for business. One of the biggest co-working company in the US just bought Meetup for $200 million. So
Wow.
that's telling us that Meetup is taking a business twist, and people are using it for networking, and they're using it, to get their name and the business out there.
Awesome. All right, cool. So let me summarize that for the listeners, and I'll try and put a bit of a personal training spin on it as well, and you can let us know if this is sort of how it works. So let's say, for example, I'm into cycling. All right. I'm not, but let's say, for example, I was into cycling and I want to go for a bike ride every Saturday morning. However, none of my other friends are into cycling. They like going out and getting drunk and that sort of thing. But I don't want to go and cycle on my own on the Saturday morning. I could go on that Meetup app and type in cycling, and then some groups would probably come up there of different people that cycle every Saturday morning or whatever. And I can put it in my local area. I can say, hey, within a mile or a kilometer of where I live, and there's a group of people there that are all sort of, they're not necessarily friends previously, they're just random people in the area that have similar interests and then can meet up and hang out. Is that the overall base of it?
Nailed it. Absolutely. And so this Meetup that, the cycling Meetup would have an organizer, someone that said, I'm sick of my friend don't like Meetup. I don't like to, cycle together. Let's create something. So he's paying $15 a month to be able to host that event weekly or monthly or as often as he wants.
Awesome. And we'll go a few different ways here. Just when you said the $15 per month, that rattled something in my mind. Does Meetup have to be free? Could that organizer say, hey, look, I'm the organizer of this Meetup group. I've got to do some text message and some organizing and pay this fee. So you guys can come along, but it's $10 a head or whatever. Does it have to be free? Or can you charge for a Meetup?
You can totally charge for a Meetup. Absolutely. So what I suggest is that obviously you want to be continuing running your Meetup. So you want to make sure that you don't lose money. You're going to cover costs. So you can either charge the people on your Meetup, or you could have a sponsor that cover costs. So you could have a sponsor that say, I've got 2,000 people in my Meetup, and every time that you advertise an event, the email goes out to 2,000 people. So if you want to be the sponsor, I will advertise you every time I send an email out.
Love it. Smart. Okay, and then what about, because that's obviously one strategy, or a couple different strategies there, how you can monetize off the bat, but you can also use it as a bit of a funnel, right? You might say, hey, come along Saturday morning, that's our free cycling session, but we've actually got a cycling club where you get this, and this, and that's whatever it is, $50 a week or something. Can you also use it like that as a bit of a lead magnet?
Totally. The thing is that first, before we start to obviously use it for our business, it's about community. So we want to do 3 things to make sure that we create the strong community and bond with the people in the group, so that we are sure that they are going to show up. Once we start to get that momentum and that trust, then you can do anything in Meetup. So I advertise all my workshops on Meetup, and I always get people that join it and pay to come along to the workshop. But if I did that at the first 4 years ago when nobody knew me, then I wouldn't probably not have that many people. So Meetup is about merging the community side of it and the business side of it. So yes, I now advertise everything on Meetup. I use it as an advertising platform, but it took me, now I've got, 4,000 people in my Meetup, so I can do that a lot easier than when I had 200. So from getting from 200 to 4,000, I had to obviously build a lot of trust along the way. And now I've got 6 different meetups all around Australia for a total of 12,000 people.
Wow.
And obviously advertising my my webinars, my all the free stuff that I do at the top of my funnel, I advertise it in all my meetup, because obviously it's a lead magnet. I'm gonna get all these email addresses from the people that are in my meetup. While I'm already nurturing my tribe on Facebook, I might as well nurture the meetup people as well.
Awesome. All right. Now let's bring that even more specific to personal trainers and boot camps. Let's say, for example, you're a personal trainer. You're already running a boot camp. You're running a boot camp every single day, Monday to Saturday.
Yes.
That's basically a live event in the personal training side of things. Would this personal trainer be able to put that on Meetup and maybe say, hey, Saturday mornings is free, and they can just set that up as, either, I don't know if you can do a recurring event on Meetup, or if you set it up every week, and that way anyone that's on Meetup will get notified. Is that how it works? Can they do that?
Yes, absolutely they can. But the thing, Jonah, we want to be careful of procrastination. People are very prone of procrastinate. So if they see that the event is there every single week as a recurring event, that might get them, I'm tired today, I'll just go next week. It's going to be there next week. So we sort of want to surprise them. I would sort of come up with a different strategy. If I was a personal trainer, I would say once a month or twice a month I do a free event. You never know when it is. So you got to be active, you got to be looking, because it's going to come up, but you don't know when. So at least I get that engagement, instead of say it's every week is free, then people will procrastinate and they will never come. So it's always very important to think about, as a personal trainer, you want to think about, okay, are my clients very active or they're more lazy? And usually people tend to be, lazier and they try to sort of avoid. So that's, we need to make sure that we trick the mind a little bit to go, you're not going to trick me, you're not going to procrastinate in this one. We're going to surprise you when the event is. So you need to be active. I used to also come up with, I've got one of my clients that is salsa trainer. So obviously she's teaching salsa, and she obviously has a lot of events that she runs. So I said, let's find ways that you're going to give them, if you attend at 10 meetups, so your 11th meetup will be free, or, sort of get them to participate and be active, because what you want is that as many people as possible to say, yes, I'm going. Because if your numbers grow, then obviously you will get that momentum, and other people go, wow, there is already 30 people that go, I'll go for sure. So the other little strategy I call it is the sheep effect. So you know how a lot of us, we follow like sheep, we follow each other. And so I say to my clients, if there's 0 people going to an event, you will not pay $20 to go to it, because you go like, I don't want to be just me, and that would be embarrassing. So we always try to find a really good excuse to make it look busy. So we usually give away the first 5, 10, 15 tickets for free to get that momentum, and then we start charging. And most likely the people that said yes, there's 5 to 10 people that said yes for free, they're not going to show up. But those people are going to help us to get the people that pay.
Sneaky. I love it. So let's
like the sheep effect.
I love the sheep effect, and I also love the procrastination as well, because that's the thing. And also that's what we teach at Fitness Education Online. Even when we're running a boot camp, what we sort of recommend is, hey, don't do a boot camp where you can just join up anytime. You're going to run something like this where, hey, it's a 12-week challenge, right? It kicks off next week, So if you want to join, you've got to either join now or you're missing out for 3 months. You don't want to miss out for 3 months. You can join here. So on that meetup sort of thing, just an idea I'm getting in my head now, if you're a trainer and you're listening to this, maybe when you're setting up your 12-week challenge, in your mind, you plan one of those weeks to be your bring a friend week or your open week, right? So when you're setting it together, you might say, all right, in week 6 is going to be open week, and meetup might be one of those strategies in there that you use to promote it. And the reason why I'm really drawn to Meetup at the moment is just the price you told me, Francesca, like at $15 a month to be able to put an event on there that all my local community to see is unbelievable. Just a bit of perspective, that's roughly what I pay per one lead on a Facebook ad, right? If I go out and put a Facebook ad, I'm going to pay $15 and get one lead, or I can go on Meetup and get access to everyone on Meetup in my area for that same price. So thank you for that. I'd like to, oh, sorry, go. There you go.
I was just saying, like, you know, I'm literally, I've got a dog and I've got a puppy, and I'm thinking I really want to go and do some, you know, exploring and walking, you know, with other people that got dogs. And I literally last week I put it on Meetup, and I searched dog walking, and I've got this group now that I found out that they're going to things, and I missed out, and now they're not going to do anything for another 4 weeks. See, and I'm already put in my calendar. I'm going. There's no way I'm going to miss out for another 4 weeks. And if that was every week, guess what? I would have been procrastinating, and I would be pulling it off until I never go.
Spot on, spot on. Wait, Francesca, I know you are the Meetup queen, and we could speak all days about this, but I want to transition a little bit to networking, because I believe that's your specialty as well. Just before we move off from Meetup, just if you're listening, I've got an action task for you. I've actually got 3 action tasks for you. Action task number 1 is, this is for my listeners, so jump on Meetup. Okay, it's the first thing you're going to do. Whether you have a group or not, it's not a bad idea just to have a bit of a look around there and see some of the other groups and see how it works. Okay, that's the first thing I would do. The second thing is go and follow Francesca, right? She's got groups all over the place. She's got pages all over the place. I'll put a link in the description so you can go and follow Francesca so you can get some little tips and that sort of thing from there. And then the third thing is just put a group out there. Right? What's the worst that can happen? You've seen how the app works. You're following Francesca. You know the advantages. So, yeah, that's sort of my little action task for the listeners. Now let's move on, Francesca, for networking, because this is also related to Meetup. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you're also a fan of not only putting your own Meetup event out there and getting people to come, but you're also a fan of going to other networking events and meeting other people. Am I right in saying that?
Yes. Absolutely. You know, I sometimes wish I would have more time now than my business took off to go to networking events, because it's the best way, the cheapest way to grow your business. And it's an organic way. And a lot of people go to networking events with the wrong, thought in mind to make business, to sell, to get clients on the spot. But it's actually about building relationships. So I never, cancel any opportunity out there. There's always opportunity, you know, like with you, Jono, you know, we met in a networking event, if you want, because that was a networking event, and there you go. And then we're now having an opportunity to have an interview and to have a chat. And then obviously we're going to invite you to speak for our tribe as well. So there's always ways that we can explore, use networking for expanding our network. It's not just about meeting 1 or 2 people that could be a potential client. It's about how can I get in touch with as many people as possible in the fastest way as possible.
Yeah, love it. And obviously any industry that works, but I really believe that for personal training in the fitness industry, because literally any single person in your community could be one of your clients, right? Pretty much everyone wouldn't mind being a little bit fitter, a little bit healthier. You know, it's a very popular thing. And I believe that there's an element of, I'm not a big fan of the word luck, right? But I think there's a smidgen of luck involved in being successful. And I think you can manipulate that in your way, right? And in the personal training side of things, simply the more people you meet, the more people you speak to, the more chance you have of someone coming to training your bootcamp. It's that simple. If I know 1,000 people in my suburb, and you know 50 people in my suburb, who's got the better chance of being successful? It's a no-brainer, right? But let's go a little bit deeper, Francesca. So, you know, we know that you can go on Meetup and find some live event and find some networking events. I'm sure the trains can go on Google. There's plenty of ways to find different networking events. But what do they actually do at these networking events? Should they get a whole heap of business cards and just hand those business cards out to everyone? Is that Is that the way you do? What's your recommendation?
I love it. No business cards. Business cards, I believe, is the old way to do business. No, don't mind me. I do have business cards, and when people ask, I do give business cards. But my favorite way to do it is to connect on Facebook and to friend each other on Facebook, because obviously from Facebook you can get that deeper connection and understand what people are really about, and you can follow them and you can see what they do in the weekends. You can see what the values are. Nowadays we buy from people because we like them or because we want to be like them, and as in personal training especially, right? I don't just want to look like my personal trainer, I want to be like my personal trainer, right? That's what people aim for. They want to be exactly like you guys. So it's very important that we show them who we are, in the integral who we are, our values, our beliefs, everything that we are, because that's what people buy. The reason why they choose a personal trainer over another one is because they like them more. And that's the truth, right? So for me, connecting on Facebook gives me the access to show who I am, because obviously you can't show that in a 10-minute chat. You can't show that unless you're pitchy, unless you try to sell them straight into something. That connection is going to die if you don't keep it up with the social media platform. So for me, connecting on Facebook is the biggest tip that I could ever give, but also is connecting with the right people at the event. And my ultimate goal when I go to network events is to become the guest speaker, so I can express and talk for over half an hour to an hour with people and show them who I am and what I'm about and what value I have to offer. And so how I do that is that I connect to with the organizer by always finding a way to help, not just to take, but find a way to help. If I can help in any way at the organizer, then we might get a connection. We might connect on Facebook. They will see that I'm a speaker and they might ask me eventually.
Awesome. All right. Now, bit going on there. So I'm going to summarize this for my audience,
yes,
so they've got all that. So the first point is business cards are the old way to do things, right? Because,
yes,
and I found that myself, even when I started, right? I started my personal training business. I was like, all right, I'm going to go out and buy 1,000 business cards, I bought 1,000 business cards. I've still got them, Francesca. This is like 10 years ago. I've still got like most of those business cards.
I know.
I couldn't even give them out, right? But here's the thing. Even if I did give someone a business card, they're never going to call me. The chance that they're going to call me is so small that it's not even worth it. And the advantage with the Facebook side of things, it's two ways. It's the business card way of today, and I believe it's both ways as well, because you're right. Like if I add someone on, let's go personal trainers, okay? Personal trainer goes to a networking event. They could hand out a business card. That person's hardly ever going to call them. They might be inspired there. They might have just asked for the business card to be nice, but the connection's gone. But let's say they're a friend on Facebook, and let's say that trainer is posting on Facebook regularly, every couple of days, every day, every week, something, right? That person may connect with you, right? You know what? I actually like this stuff Jono's preaching. I might actually hit him up, right? Or they might just see the right Facebook post at the right time, and there you go, all right? So that's I guess the first sort of tip there. Sorry, you go.
Yes. Well, the thing is as well, like if as a client, I'm a personal trainer client, right? I have a personal trainer, and I've been shopping around actually the last few weeks for a personal trainer, and I was trying to see, who do I want to work with, and I was thinking, what happened in the past? Why I left the personal training in the past? Why didn't I continue? And I found my reason. I go, well, the person, obviously you always blame others, right? Mm-hmm. I was wishing that you kept me more accountable. I wanted this more, I wanted that more. So obviously now when I'm looking on Facebook for the next personal trainer, I'm looking for those qualities that I thought the other person didn't have, which obviously is only my head, right? But that's how we do it. That's how we shop. So we shop thinking, I want someone that's going to keep me accountable, that's going to be able to lock in all the dates in my calendar. And so when I saw this person on Facebook, was super organized, they had all his calendar blocked out, and I'm like, yes, that's what I need. And so, if I just follow them and met them once, I probably won't be able to know all the stuff about them.
Spot on. And then the second point to that was, when you go to these networking events, we've got almost an ulterior motive, right? Yeah, we want to talk to people and add them to Facebook and grow our network. But what's
Sure.
more powerful is if we can actually be the next speaker at the event, because then we don't need to scurry around and ask, well, we don't need to scurry around as much and ask people for Facebook, because if we're the speaker, we can pitch a little bit more, or people will probably just come up to us anyway and ask. But to do that, it's not just a matter of marching up to the person running the show and saying, hey, I'm Jono, I'm the expert. You know, you want me to speak at your next event. We got to give first, right? Hey, how can I give back? Is there anything I can do to help? Do you want me to help put away the chairs? Do you want me to volunteer at the next session? Do you want me to promote this on my, let me add you to Facebook and I'll promote this to my friends, and maybe next time we can get more. And if we do that, they're going to be way more likely to ask us. Is that the second part to it?
Absolutely, absolutely. My number one rule is always ask, how can I help? What does someone need? And always trying to understand and be an organizer. I know that people need, the thing that you were just sharing, help. But nobody helps you when you run events. You're always by yourself running around like crazy. So absolutely, those are the steps that I definitely recommend and I always teach, because it's important to give first before we take.
Love it. Now, Francesca, I just want to delve a smidgen deeper, because I did see something else at your live event as well that I really, really loved. This was the way that you add someone to Facebook at these events. So this is important for our listeners listening, because a lot of people, they might be thinking, wait, hold on, when she adds these people to Facebook, is she using her business page or her personal profile? Just to summarize, that's Francesca's personal profile. She's not telling them, hey, go on like my business page. She may do that as well, but the key is, add this person so they're a friend on your Facebook page. Could you give us do you remember you did that role play, Francesca? You did like a minute or two role play where someone asked for your business card. Can we do that, you and me now?
Let's do it.
All right, awesome. All right. I will ask you if you have a business card and we'll go from there. Is that how we do it?
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, Francesca, look, I've got to actually run. Look, let's stay in contact. Have you got a business card or something?
Oh, Jono, let me check. Oh, come on. I don't have any with me, but Jono, who does business cards anymore, right? Let's connect on Facebook. Get your phone out. Let's do it. And then I grabbed your phone and I said, look, Jono, nobody can spell my name correctly. Just give me your phone. I'll spell it for you. And in that moment, I've got your phone in my hands and I type out my name and my Francesca Moy comes up. But the first thing that comes up is Francesca Moy - the Meetup Queen. So I always suggest all my clients to brand themselves. The name of the business page should be branded to themselves. And then the second thing that come up when you put my name is my personal profile, which is Francesca Moy. So there's two things that come up. The first one is the business page that says Francesca Moy - the Meetup Queen. And the second one is just Francesca Moy, which is my personal profile where people can friend me. And I said, Jono, don't like my page. Don't worry about that. Just friend me. So I'll ask you to click on the second one, friend me. And in that moment, I'll say, let's take a photo. How good is this event? And we take a selfie together. Actually, we should just do it right here. And then once we take a selfie together, awesome. When we take a selfie together, then at that moment, I'm done. I don't need to still, try to sell you into what I have. I don't need to convince you that I'm the best coach in the world. I don't need to do anything else. You're free to go. I'm free to go. And we're going to connect with different people. But before I leave the venue, right before then, I'm in the car. I don't walk away. I don't drive away until I've posted on Facebook. I've checked in on Facebook about this event. And together with thanking the organizer, obviously, because obviously I've done that with the organizer as well, right? Then I want to make sure that I put all the photos that I took the night, all the selfies. So I put a selfie with you and with other people. And now the chance that you are going to get notified from Facebook are really, really, really high, because Facebook wants interaction between friends. They want people to be very active on the personal profile, because they know that eventually they're gonna become the people that are gonna use the Facebook ads. The people that are gonna put the more money are the people that are gonna be the most active on Facebook. So in that moment, Facebook is really excited about you and I being friends, and it's gonna show you a notification that I just put a photo up. And so I usually ask, what are the chances that Jono is going to like or open that post, high or low?
Hi, you've tagged me, you've checked in, there's a photo of me. It's almost rude if I don't like it, right?
Exactly, right? You have to now. You're there. So you're going to like it. And then obviously, most likely, would you put a comment on it?
Yeah, for sure. Comment below, Francesca. No, so nice to meet you. Let's keep in touch. It's rude. It's rude if I don't,
Good.
right?
That's right? I just posted how amazing it was to meet you, meet everyone. Of course, you're going to comment in there. But right now, Facebook is there between the two of us watching what we're doing. And Facebook going, oh, hold on a second. Jono is interested in what Francesca's about. John just liked, commented, it's just a raving fan. So obviously now Facebook will keep showing up what was Francesca about. Every post, everything that I put out there, Facebook will notify Jono going, hey, Francesca put something else up. So at this moment, I will be in your face every single day that you open your Facebook. I will be right there. I'll be like, yay, with my big smile. So that's what we do. And that's how we build that relationship. And that's how a lot of my people, after 2-3 years that I've met them, they still know who I am. And I go, sorry, I don't remember you. And the reason why is not because I'm rude, it's because I meet thousands of people a year and I make sure that they remember me. Usually most people don't make sure I remember them.
Yeah. Now, there's so much gold in that. So if you're listening to this, a few things, I'd even recommend listening to that again and writing down each point step by step, because Francesca has that to a science. It's easy just to brush over. I've done very similar things, and the way you approach it, I've never seen anyone approach it that meticulously at so many different levels. So Francesca has that to a science. So listen to that again. But once again, follow Francesca on Facebook, because she's going to give you all these little tips here that they literally make the difference. There's basically two major points that I'm going to summarize there from Francesca. The number one is how smooth she made it to be a friend with that person. Right? Whereas, it can be a little bit awkward, especially if it's a male and a female and it's maybe a trainer and you don't want to seem like you're trying to hit on them or something. Francesca just makes that so smooth, oh, look, oh no, I've actually ran out of business cards, but hey, who uses business cards? Look, let me just add you on Facebook. That's probably easier. Oh, my surname's complicated or my name's complicated. Look, just give me your phone. I'll add you. That way you're in there, right? Now, the selfie, a few things going on there. It's just nice. I feel nice. If someone's like, wow, this person wanted to get a selfie with me, I feel like a bit of a rock star. I like this person already. That's the first half that she's done there. She's just made it so smooth and you're excited to be friends with this person. But then it goes further, okay? Then Francesca almost manipulates the Facebook algorithm, right? You see a lot of posts these days, the Facebook algorithm, this and that. No one's seeing my post. I posted and no one sees it. Francesca's manipulating it in such an authentic way because she's going there. She's taken the photo, okay? She's posting that photo and she's checking in and she's tagging me and saying how wonderful it was. There's a few things going on there. I'm going to like her even more because she's tagged me, Tagging's one of those things. As soon as someone if you want to get notified on social media, tag someone, all right? I get all these notifications. I'm not going to read that. But as soon as someone tags me, I've got to check what it is, all right? So I'm automatically going over there. I'm going to leave a comment. I'm going to like it. And then Facebook's being, wow, Francesca made a post. Jono liked it. Jono commented on it. Next time Francesca makes a post, I'm going to make sure Jono sees it. All right? So that was a very simplified version. Go over and listen to this again. Go and follow Francesca because literally that's gold. If you're having issues getting seen on Facebook, just use that strategy there. But anyways, Francesca, we got to start. Sorry.
And in saying that, Jono, if I can add something there, is like people take this strategy, you just said that, for granted and just do it once and do it twice and then they forget about it. I keep doing that and I will do this forever because it works. And the more friends you add on Facebook, the more visibility you get, the more comments, the more interaction. The more interaction you get, the more business you get. It's just a number game. And we just need to remember that certain things you will never stop doing. And that's when, unfortunately, some people are not consistent enough that they do it for a little bit and then they forget about it. And that's when it doesn't work. So yes, you just exactly said, that's my strategy, and it works if you keep using it.
Sorry, yeah, very important point. That's right. It's not just a strategy, I did it once and I don't have any more clients. This strategy doesn't work. Do that strategy every event, every week for the next couple months and see what happens. Hey, Francesca, we're actually running a bit short on time. I just want to finish up with a few really sort of quick questions. First one is you're obviously an inspiration. A lot of people follow you. You've got your Marfians. I follow you. I've been following you for years. But if you could also share with our listeners, who do you follow for inspiration?
That's a very good point. Well, my favorites now are Tony Robbins, as always.
Who was it? Sorry?
Tony Robbins, have you heard
Tony
of him?
Robbins. I haven't heard of him. Do you want to? Nah, I'm joking. I'm a huge fan. Sorry. Yeah, there's Tony Robbins. Anyone else?
Is the man. Marie Forleo, have you heard of her?
Yep. I'm a huge fan. If you're listening to this, most people probably know Tony Robbins. Does Marie target more women, or or not so much?
Yes, I think it's pretty much women targeting. She used to be a personal trainer, actually. There you go. That's a very interesting story. She used to be a personal trainer. She got famous on YouTube. She got millions of views on YouTube, and then she started a Marie TV, and then she realized the mindset was what people were lacking. So she created a mindset course, and then now she's a business. So she just sort of went from PT to now business, online courses. She's amazing.
Yeah.
And then my third latest person that I've been following and hearing, and I'll spend the weekend listening to her stuff, is Brené Brown.
Okay, I haven't heard of her actually. Who was it? Brené Brown?
Brené Brown. So Brene Brown. And Brené Brown is actually one person that did a TED talk about vulnerability around 3 or 4 years ago. And it went like crazy on social media. And now she's all over everywhere. She's been at Oprah. She's been at Marie Forleo. She's been interviewed from Tony Robbins. She's been interviewed from everyone. And it's the next thing. It's the next person out there.
Interesting. All right. So if you're listening to that, there's Francesca's big three: Tony Robbins, Marie Forleo, and Brené Brown.
Yeah.
Awesome. Wait, Francesca, I think that's all we've sort of got time for today. Did I miss anything? Is there anything I should have asked that I've forgotten, or is there anything else you want to share with our listeners there?
No, I love it. I love the chat, and I hope everyone enjoyed it. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching this. And if you want to see more of me, every Monday morning at 11 o'clock Queensland time, I do a free half an hour of business shortcuts. So if you want to take your business to the next level, I'll look forward to see you there.
Awesome. All right. Well, hey, I'll put some links below, Francesca. What links do you want me to put? Where are the best places people should follow you?
Yeah, just the Meetup Queen would be great. And I would love to say you can add me as a friend, but I've just reached my 5,000 people last year, and I can't add any more people. But if you're really keen to stay close, then you can still join my Facebook group, Entrepreneurs Abundance Mindset. And I'd love to see you there. We've got 7,000 people now in there, so it's a great community. Awesome.
I'll put those, if you're listening, I'll put those links in the description of the podcast anyway. So if you missed it, just click the links and go directly through. All right, Francesca, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me, Jono. I can't wait to see where this podcast will go.